What other moment is there going to be with momentum, with the crowd, with the scale of the event we're going to have, with patriots travelling from every corner of Great Britain? When is this going to happen again? It's not going to happen organically within a day or week. People need time. They've had time. We've given you the date. May 16th is the date. It's the date that Britain rises. It's the date Britain unites. It's the date the world hears our roar. That we have had enough of migration. We've had enough of mass immigration. We've had enough of the oppression from a tyrannical government. The Labour Party are going to get trounced 7 days before this election. This election will become a demand for a new election. Get rid of those tyrants in power.
Hey guys, what is going on everybody? Oliver here, and listen. What you're about to watch is not just a message, it's a direct call to action. Because Tommy Robinson is looking at what's happening in Ireland right now and asking one simple question. Why not Britain next? This quickly moves from commentary into something much bigger. A push for mass mobilisation, a planned protest in London, and a very clear attempt to turn public frustration into a unified moment that forces political pressure. And whether you agree with him or not, what matters here is the scale he's aiming for. Because moments like this don't just happen. They're built, and he's trying to create one right in front of you. If you want more breakdowns that actually explain what these moments mean and where they could lead, make sure you like the video and subscribe. It helps more than you think. Now let's get into it.
I'm going to use this opportunity, after watching what's happening in the Republic of Ireland, to ask you, the British audience, what other moment is there going to be with momentum, with the crowd, with the scale of the event we're going to have, with patriots travelling from every corner of Great Britain? When is this going to happen again? It's not going to happen organically within a day or week. People need time. They've had time. We've given you the date. May 16th is the date. It's the date that Britain rises. It's the date Britain unites. It's the date the world hears our roar. That we have had enough of migration. We've had enough of mass immigration. We've had enough of the oppression from a tyrannical government. The Labour Party are going to get trounced 7 days before this election. This election will become a demand for a new election. Get rid of those tyrants in power. Get rid of them. We don't want another 3 years of borders open. 3 more years of police oppression. 3 more years of corruption in the judiciary. 3 more years of their bullshit, again, and abuse of the British public. We've had enough of it. Enough of rapists coming into our country on boats. Enough of putting people first. Enough of not giving British families their homes. People waiting on housing lists for 10 years, 15 years, and you give them to loads of Afghanis who are 22 times more likely to rape people. We've had enough. This is the moment that Britain rises. If you're watching what's happening in Ireland, it's our turn on May 16th. Make your plans. To the detractors who don't like me, what other moment is there going to be like this? To get those numbers in our capital city, to unify our 4 nations together. When is it going to happen? When else are we going to have this moment? The momentum is with us. You saw what we done on September 13th. The entire world is watching. We have support coming from some of the biggest governments in the world. Trust me. Okay? We have some great surprises for all of you on May 16th. Now, whilst I'm saying this, whilst I see some people making certain comments, do you know the fight we are going through to legally have this event? The hurdles we're jumping through. Do you know now we've got to hire crowd control people? £15,000. They're throwing all these obstacles at us. Every day we're jumping through new hoops to make sure we put on a safe event. The left, the pro-Palestinians, they're going mental. There's an article now in today's Guardian that the police have took our side. I believe the police have took our side. That's it. The police are on our side. The police are fed up of the betrayal of the British people. The police are fed up of the way that they were used for political policing against their own population. Everyone in this country is fed up. May 16th is chosen as the date. Make your plans. There's never going to be a moment like this to bring London to a total standstill. For the world to watch and hear our voice. They have made us, silenced us for 2 or 3 decades. And we will be silent no more. Not only will we not be silent, but we will have the entire world, from every corner of this globe, is going to be watching you, hearing your voice, sending a message to the corrupt establishment and letting Keir Starmer know, get out of that house. No one wants you there. We want an election right now. That's what's happening after 7. They're going to get trounced in the locals. This will be a demand for an election descend on London May 16th. There you go. Got that out of my system, didn't I? And all of it will be done peacefully. So make sure I may get pretty passionate and pretty irate because I'm angry. Because we're all angry. But you know what? They'd want you to spill over that anger. We have managed to control our own supporters and to channel it. And what we're saying is if you wasn't being heard, I'd understand people's anger. But we are going to have the world listening to what we're saying on May 16th. Bring your families, bring your flags, bring your smiles. We're having a party. We're celebrating British identity and we decide how we behave. And on May 16th, we will control our behaviour and have a great day. Make your plans, Britain. And God bless the patriots in Ireland. Stand up. Keep standing up. I can see your government falling on this issue. And you see if the Irish government fall, it's a message to the rest of you of what unity can do. So let's unify Britain on May 16th.
What you've just watched is not just a speech. It is a mobilisation attempt. It is structured, deliberate, and built around timing, emotion, and scale. Start with the foundation of the message. Tommy Robinson anchors everything to what is happening in Ireland. That is not accidental. He is using a live example of public protest to create a sense of momentum and urgency. The logic is simple. If it can happen there, it can happen here. That framing lowers psychological resistance. It makes large-scale turnout feel achievable rather than theoretical. Then look at how the date is used. May 16 is repeated as a fixed point. This is a classic mobilisation tactic. You give people time, you repeat the date, and you turn it into a focal event. The more people hear it, the more real it becomes. That is how attendance builds. It moves from an idea to a plan. Now focus on the emotional construction. The message cycles through anger, frustration, and then unity. Complaints about immigration, cost of living, housing, and institutions are layered together. These are high sensitivity issues. Whether every claim is accurate or not is a separate question. What matters here is how they are combined to create a shared grievance. That is what drives turnout. People do not mobilise around isolated issues. They mobilise around a feeling that multiple pressures are converging at once. He then shifts into scale. Phrases like "the world is watching" and references to previous large turnouts are used to elevate the event. This is important. People are more likely to attend something they believe will be significant. Perceived scale drives actual scale. It becomes a feedback loop. There is also a clear attempt to legitimize the event. He emphasizes planning, legal hurdles, and crowd control. That signals organization. It reassures potential attendees that this is not spontaneous chaos. It is presented as controlled and intentional. At the same time, he stresses that it will be peaceful. That is not just a moral position. It is strategic. It lowers the barrier for wider participation, including families and individuals who would otherwise stay away. Now look at the institutional angle. There are repeated claims about government failure, policing, and broader systems. This builds a narrative of systemic breakdown. When people believe institutions are not responding, they are more open to direct action. That is the environment this message is trying to create. But this is where critical evaluation matters. Strong claims are made throughout the speech, particularly around crime, immigration, and policy outcomes. These claims require verification. Some statements in the transcript are presented as fact, but are not, supported within the material itself. That does not invalidate the broader political argument, but it does mean viewers should separate emotional appeal from evidence. If the goal is informed engagement, that distinction matters. There is also a broader implication here about how political energy moves across borders. Events in one country can influence behaviour in another. Ireland is used here as a reference point to energise a UK audience. That is a pattern seen repeatedly in modern politics. Movements observe each other, learn tactics, and replicate momentum. The final layer is identity. The message repeatedly frames participation as an expression of national unity and belonging. That is powerful. When political action is tied to identity, it becomes more than policy. It becomes personal. That increases commitment and turnout. So what are you really looking at here? You are looking at an attempt to convert frustration into action. You are looking at a strategy designed to maximize turnout. You are looking at a message built on emotion, timing, and perceived momentum. Whether it succeeds depends on one thing: numbers. If turnout is high, it becomes a signal. If it is low, it fades quickly. That is the reality of events like this. What matters for you as a viewer is to stay grounded. Separate what is being claimed from what can be verified. Understand the strategy being used, and then decide where you stand based on evidence, not just intensity. If you want more breakdowns that actually go beyond the surface and explain what these moments mean in real terms, make sure you like the video and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and keeps this kind of analysis coming. Drop your view in the comments. Is this a genuine turning point, or just another moment that sounds bigger than it becomes?